Hello, and welcome to Back to the Science. I'm Dr. Susan Oliver, and I'm a scientist, and this is Cindy Oliver, and she's a dog. Now, this video is probably going to come as a shock to some people, but today I'm going to reveal some facts that they have been trying to force me to keep hidden. For about 2.5 years, I've been making videos claiming that I am in Australia. And Cindy has been complicit in a lot of them too. But it's not true. We are not in Australia because Australia doesn't exist. Here's a map of the world. You can see the Arctic Circle in the middle and the ice shelf around the edges that stops everyone falling off. But there's no Australia. In fact, I'm being paid by Big Globe to pretend I live in Australia so that they can keep selling globes. They are making a fortune from these globes. You see them everywhere, schools, universities, even houses. It's a global market that they want to protect. But if the truth comes out, no one will buy their products. And that's why they are paying me and many others to keep their secret. Now, you may be wondering why they had to make up Australia in the first place. Well, it turns out that fake Australia is only a small part of what they are hiding. The bigger secret that they are hiding is the fact that the Earth is flat. Big Globe doesn't want you to know this because why would you buy a globe if you knew the Earth was flat? So they came up with this story that if the Earth was flat, you would be able to see Australia from other countries. But because the Earth is round, the horizon stops you from seeing it. Mathematically, this seems to be correct, but it is based on a false assumption that Australia exists. And it doesn't. That's the reason you can't see Australia when you look out across the water. It's not because the Earth is round, it's because it's not there. I'm actually recording this video from my lounge room just outside of Manchester in England, not the fictitious Australia. Here's something that I just picked up from my local supermarket, hardly something that would be available in Australia. Now, a lot of people are probably going to bring up the fact that there are lots of scientists that have proven that the Earth is round and that there are lots of peer-reviewed papers published in scientific journals about it. What they don't tell you is that all the scientists and scientific journals have been captured by Big Globe. It's a huge conspiracy that involves all scientists, companies, and governments around the globe. I mean, the flat. Look at this paper here. Earth curvature effects on subduction morphology, modelling subduction in spherical setting. What does that even mean? They are just trying to gaslight us. And then you have the so-called fact checkers. Their articles sound really logical, but they are just controlled opposition. They all have links to Big Globe. There may not be any record of these links, but that doesn't mean it's not true. Just because you're paranoid, it doesn't mean you're wrong. And you'll notice that none of these fact checkers have debunked this video. In fact, if what I was saying wasn't true, they would have sued me, but they haven't. So I must be telling the truth. Now that I've come out and told the truth, I expect that I am going to get some pushback. People will say that it makes no sense for Big Globe to pay me when I only have a small number of subscribers. They will say that Big Globe is a business and that they expect to get return on investment. Now, I don't really have an answer to that, but I can tell you that they are trying to silence me now, and I am being gaslighted. The conspiracy is real. Of course, I'm not the first scientist that has come out against Big Globe. Other brave scientists have done it too. And they will even sell you flat earth supplements to protect you against Big Globe. The fact that they have found a way to monetize their opposition to Big Globe is just a coincidence. They are telling the truth. The other thing that Big Globe does to discredit people like me is they call us names like Flat Earther. I mean, fancy calling us a name that describes our stance on something. And it's not like I think all the earth is flat anyway. It's just the experimental part of the earth where fake Australia is. The other parts of the earth have mountains and valleys and stuff. And they seem to forget that I actually used to make videos claiming that I came from Australia before I became disillusioned. So I can't be a flat earther. Now, you may be wondering about all the people who claim to have visited Australia. Are they all just lying? Well, a lot of them are, but some of them have visited Placebo Australia. This is a fake place set up just near the Isle of Man that is staffed by actors. The airlines and the pilots are all part of the conspiracy, so they just pretend to fly people to Australia. The windows of the planes are actually just video screens, so most of the time people are being charged for the plane to sit on the ground. Everyone is profiting from the conspiracy, not just Big Globe. But not everyone is being fooled by Placebo Australia. Some people know it's a farce, but they are being paid by Big Globe to pretend they are visiting Australia. Here's an example.
And we've had a great day today. We've been invited to the home of Professor Robert Clancy in Australia. Robert, thank you for the invitation and your brilliant hospitality and for showing us around.
Great pleasure.
For those of you who don't know, John Campbell is a popular YouTuber who has a PhD in using videos for educational purposes. He isn't actually a scientist, but he knows how to fool people into thinking he understands science. So he is the perfect spokesperson for Big Globe. Now, watching this video, you may think that John is genuinely visiting Australia. But if you look at it a bit more closely, you can see that it's all a setup. Have a look at the chimney on the wood stove. It doesn't go up through the roof. It ends inside the house. This isn't a house in Australia. It's just a stage that has been set up to look like one. And there's even more evidence that the trip has just been staged and John is not in Australia. This is a seminar that John is supposed to be presenting at today. Look at the date. It's the 1st of April 2024, April Fool's Day. John's not really at the seminar. It's not happening. It's all a big April Fool's joke. If you'd like to look further into the data I presented, I'm afraid I don't have any links because they've all been censored by Big Globe who are trying to silence me. And please remember, this video is not about the science. In fact, it uses a lot of arguments that you may recognise from people who are anti-science. If you've got this far, thank you for listening. And if you've liked, shared or commented on the video, double thank you because that helps the algorithm and means that more people will see the video. But could I request that you keep your comments clean because Cindy's too young to be exposed to bad language. And of course, thank you to everyone who has bought me a coffee or Cindy here a treat. We really appreciate your support. We will be going back to making videos about the science in the future. So if you'd like to join the cool kids and stay informed, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you.